What's up, everybody, and welcome back to the Knab and Ro Show. I'm here with my compatriot and partner in crime, Ro. Say hi, Ro.
Hi, kids.
And welcome back to the podcast.
Woo-hoo.
Yes, so we're going to do another fun thing today. What are we doing, Ro?
It's another Knab and Ro on the go.
Yes, virtual edition.
Yeah. Well, yeah, exactly.
Yeah, we're not quite there yet.
No, definitely not. Not quite.
Yeah.
But I did want to put a shout out because I know that we last week had done a test live on Facebook, and I just wanted to give a shout out to all the people that popped on in the short amount of time that we were live. It was pretty exciting and amazing.
It was.
How
yes, thank
people
you.
just like popped on, and it was very mind blowing to me that people saw it and jumped in so quick. So I'm excited. We'll definitely be doing a more formal edition of that in the future.
Yeah.
But yeah, I was excited. It was great. So thank you. Thank you very much for your support. We definitely appreciate it. But I just wanted to give a shout out to those that popped on really quick when they saw the live button. So
y'all, when they saw the live button, the notification popped up, and you're all like, "Ooh, Knab and Ro on the go."
Yeah.
Or Knab and Ro, because we definitely did not do it on the go there.
Yeah, no, we did not do it on the go. A future on the go will be like that, but not
That's
this
right.
time.
That's right. So, tell me, Ro, where are we going today?
I am very excited about this one because it is actually going to be in Oregon, and it's in my backyard, and I've been to this city so many times, and it has some really cool, fun things to do. Not only fun, but historical and just very interesting sights and sights and sounds, I guess, because it's on the coast. But we're going to go visit Astoria, Oregon today, which is just like a 2 or 3 hour drive from my house. So it's kind of in my backyard, and I absolutely love this place and have been there multiple times. And I'm really glad and excited to share some highlights for you of this town. And,
yes.
Yeah, I'm excited.
So right here is the map, right? And we're going to zoom in so you can kind of see where it's at. Whoop. No, we're not gonna
And
go
for
there.
those of you that don't know, Oregon is the state between Washington and California.
Yes, right.
Just to let you know, I remember very distinctly a long time ago when I first started playing World of Warcraft, and we had the voice comms, and you get to know people from where they're at, and they're like, well, I remember telling someone I was from Oregon, and they're like, well, where's that? And I go, well, it's on the West Coast, between California and Washington. And the guy was like, there's a state between California and Washington? And I was like, yes, sir, there certainly is.
Oh my goodness. Yeah.
Anyway, I just always have to crack up when I am trying to tell people, I live in Oregon, the state between Washington and California.
That's right. Absolutely. Yeah.
Yep.
So, but Ro, we're not just going to talk about Astoria. That's kind of where we're going to highlight, but what else are we going to do?
Yeah. Well, we are going to talk about the Warrenton-Hammond area as well, because it has a lot of historical significance for not only Oregon, but the United States as well. So we'll touch about both places. They're super close to each other, so a lot of people just group them together when they're visiting. So I felt like it was a pretty good idea to kind of touch on both places, since if you look up Astoria, they're kind of hand in hand with each other. And as you can see on the map, they are like literally a bridge away. So
yeah, exactly. And the thing that I noticed, I haven't been there personally, but the thing I noticed is the major city or the town is right here in Astoria. And over here, there's a lot of parks, museums, maybe a little tiny something here in Warrenton and right up here in Hammond. But for the most part, Astoria is the main kind of hub, so to speak. And then you have these other parts that have a lot of great places to visit.
Yeah, and Astoria itself is a big hub, and was a huge hub, in the 1800s with boats, because it's it's where the Columbia River and the ocean meet, essentially. So I know Portland and Seattle are really big hubs too, but Astoria was right up there with them in the past with getting ships and stuff unloaded and docked and all that as well. So, and it's a really tricky area to navigate large boats because of how shallow the river, where like the ocean and the river meet, how shallow it is. A lot of boats get stuck in this area if they're not guided well. So
I'm assuming that's in the low tide, obviously.
Yeah, I think we're going to talk about this this particular captain because he has his house is still there, and it's like a museum. But I believe he was the captain of I want to say the tugboats or something that helps guide boats through that area or something. Captain Flavell. But yeah, it's a tricky, treacherous. A lot of boats have gotten stuck, and we'll talk about one in particular here in a little bit. That's actually still there after all these years, which is pretty cool. So
yeah, absolutely. Mm-hmm. So I'm curious here. This river here, right? Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. How big is this river? Where does it stop? I'm just
keep going.
Curious.
Yeah, it goes all the way. I think it. Yeah, that's the Columbia. That's what separates Washington and Oregon.
Kind of goes up here. This is the main one, right?
I
don't know.
I didn't see where you zoomed in.
There you go, Columbia River.
It's a huge. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Goes all the way up there into Canada.
Yep.
Wow, that's pretty cool.
Mm-hmm.
That is pretty cool. I like it. And as you see right here, this is Oregon and the Washington border right there.
Yes.
So it's right on the edge.
Mm-hmm. Yep. There's a bridge. You can see the bridge that connects Oregon and Washington.
The 101.
Yep.
Very
cool. 101. And the 101 will take you all down the coast range through Oregon. You can see it all the way down
all
to California.
The way down. The 101.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Oh, wow. You're not kidding.
Yeah. It goes all the way down.
San Francisco.
to California,
all the
Mexico.
way down. Goodness
so if you want to
gracious.
drop from Mexico up to Canada, that's a
good coastal
it's a really
view.
pretty. Yeah, I mean, I can't really speak for California because I haven't really driven the 101 in California. I'm not really sure how pretty it is. I would imagine it's pretty because it's right on, by the oceans and stuff. But, Oregon-wise, definitely. It's a little bit windy. You get lots of trees because, that's what happens. But, yeah. Yeah. I can't remember. I think the 101's, anyway, we're not going to go there because I could go off on a tangent on that.
And then you're confused because here's the business way 101. And here's the regular 101.
Mm-hmm.
And then the 202.
Yeah.
So Astoria, why don't you kind of run us through some of the main things here? Obviously, right along the coast on, what is this, Marine Drive, which turns into the 101, right? This is kind of the main drag where everything's at. You have your hotels, you have your seaports, your hospitals, all that good stuff. This is where where it's all at. The brewing company's here. There's another beer company.
Yeah, they have some really good beer companies there. A lot. Which is the Astoria Brewing Company is a real popular place. I want to say, I can't remember if this. I think it's called the Salty Dog. I can't remember if that's in Astoria or Seaside. But it's another popular one. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Love me some Salty Dog Cafe. I know there's one down in Marco Island or Hilton Head Island where my grandma used to live. We used to.
Yeah, I think this is a little bit. I don't know if they're affiliated or not, but
so probably same name, just different.
Yeah.
Different chain.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Right. Mm-hmm.
Well, I want to take a look. So you have the Bayou Beer Company, which I'm assuming. So you have these two here, right?
Mm-hmm.
I just want to. So this is a takeout. So
yeah, they're gonna take you out.
Take a look real quick and just just peruse real quick. BayouBeer.com. Just want to see what it is, because if you're going place, yes, intersect. Ooh, look at that! Roasted pistachios.
Pistachios. Oh yes, please sign me up. Mm-hmm.
Oh my gosh, they have good food too and everything.
Oh,
look at those fish sticks. Okay, I gotta quit looking at that. Can't do it. Axe Barrel Aged Dark Ale. Ooh, I go for that or the Porter. Ooh, that looks good. Not a huge IPA fan. I typically go for the one with the highest alcohol per volume just because, sip it, enjoy it, same results, cheaper.
Right.
I'm just,
There you go.
So look at that. Got a kids menu at the brewery. That's awesome. I appreciate that. That's good. Okay, so besides all that and the general where you go to the taverns and all that good jazz, what are some of the hot spots you think people should hit in Astoria first?
Well, I definitely see the Flavell House, which I had mentioned earlier. So if you want to go ahead and go there.
Okay, the Flavell House.
Yeah.
I love that name, Flavell.
Yeah, and I'm a sucker for houses, which I'm sure people have.
Wow.
Yeah, it's a Victorian house. It is a museum now, essentially, but it's a big hotspot for tourism. So if you're visiting, that's a great place to go. It has period furniture in it. So when you walk in, you've got like the grand ballroom and like this and that and everything. And it's taped off, but you can actually look into the room and they have it staged with the appropriate furniture for the time period. I believe he had 3 kids, 2 girls and a son. And I don't believe the daughters were ever married, and they ended up passing away in the house because they lived there until, everybody passed away.
Yeah, there is.
But yeah, I mean, I'm sure that if they have like current.
Yeah, they should. Okay, this is a historic society, so we got to be careful with what things we actually. Okay, so this is Flavell House.
Right. So keep scrolling. It'll give you a little bit of a history there.
There we go. Captain George Flavell.
Flavell.
For some reason, I want to go back to Harry Potter when it says Nicholas
I know,
Flamel.
right?
I know. It makes you think of that.
Yeah.
Most influential citizens in the late 1800s. Captain Flavell.
Yeah, a bar pilot. That's what they're called.
Wow.
Yeah, bar pilot. Yeah. Yeah, they're the bar pilots are the ones that like guide the bigger ships in from the ocean into because it was such a treacherous like area, just with the ground and everything kind of coming to a head. So, but yeah,
cool.
Yeah, if you scroll down, I think it'll have some pictures of the.
Yeah, look at this. In 1951, there was once again talk about tearing down the house. This time to make way for a parking lot. That's horrible. But of course, obviously, the people rallied and said,
Yep.
Not going to happen. And there's that period look you're talking about.
Yeah. It's really, I mean, these pictures don't do it justice. I mean, if you've ever been to, like, an old house.
Look at that.
Yeah. I'm a sucker for porches, and it's got the best porch ever.
It's a porch around almost the whole thing.
Yeah, it is.
Almost, minus that one side. But
yeah, and they have a really pretty garden area, too, and they still have, like, the, I think the gift shop is actually where the horses, where they kept like the horses and like the coaches and stuff and the like wagons. Back in the day. So it's very authentically kept intact to and made to look like what it was when it was first built.
Here's what I'm going to do, because the power of Google, I am just going to do this. Go to images, and voila. Oh, wow. Oh, that's creepy. Well, that's not the Flavell House. Is it the Flavell House? Well... It is.
Okay, so it is. That's one of them. So that is the house of his son.
Oh.
So when his son got married, they went and built a house. And so that one was kept in the family of the son. And there's been some controversy over it a few years ago on whether or not, I think like the last remaining descendant of it, like, was still inhabiting it and never kept it up clearly, because that's what it looked like a few years ago. But
it is not hard to trim vines. I'm just saying, you do it once, you don't have to do it for another couple of years. I'm just saying.
Yeah,
that was probably easy as hell. But look at the details.
Yeah, no, they did a really good job of but yeah, I mean, even the wood, like, I know we've talked about older houses and other places with like intricate wooden details and stuff like that, and this house has that same thing, and it's they've done a really good job of restoring it and keeping it looking how it used to be. Sure. And doing renovations and stuff too, so it's
poor ceiling. Water damage.
Yeah.
Yeah, that you'll have that, especially. Oh, geez. Yeah, places that are old. I'm assuming this is in the other house, probably.
Probably, yeah. I mean, there's a portion of the house like where the I wouldn't. That's probably the other house.
Yeah, it's the other house.
But
Go back.
I mean, there's a portion of the house where you can't go that goes like up to like the attic where the servants' quarters used to be. That one's taped off just because it's not safe to go. I mean, after a long period of time and a lot of people walking on things, they've had to do a lot of restorations and renovations and stuff. So
replace
but I mean,
the floorboards.
Yeah, and the thing that amazed me too, and this is where I mean I'd never really visited older houses before, but I definitely noticed, and especially time period like Downton Abbey and stuff, like I've noticed that the stairs are not as high, I guess, like they're more shallow than stairs these days, and it's, you know, and the railings are, I mean, I'm 5'10", and the railing came up to like not even my hip, you know. Wow. Railings are lower, and the staircases are like, I feel like the steps aren't as high. Like, just take a step up, they're not as tall, and they're like, right there. Yeah, and they're wider, and that's, you know, for dresses for the women with the heels and stuff. And of course, they didn't have like, you know, back in the 1800s, there weren't very many tall women either.
But many tall people.
Yeah, so you know, but it you know, things like that, you know, part of history that you know, kind of shows the evolution of houses and stairs and stuff too. So
well, very cool. That, ladies and gentlemen, is the Flavell House Museum.
Yeah, definitely. And another house that you should definitely check out too is the Goonies house. I'm sure people are familiar with the Goonies, and that was actually filmed in Astoria.
Right.
And the
here.
house, and the house that the main characters lived in, you can actually visit still to this day. You can't walk up to the house, but you can actually walk up. I think there's like some perimeter that the owner has, you know, fenced off or whatever, but you can actually like walk up to a point to, you know, take a picture and actually like see it and all that stuff too. So that's a really cool house highlight.
So here's the house. Yeah. I want to know, where's the white picket fence they did the truffle shuffle? I'm just saying. Oh, wait, here we go. Hold on. Wait for it.
Yeah, there you go.
There we go. There's where Chunk did the truffle shuffle.
Yep. So I think you can actually, you can't drive up this road. I think you have to park down like the hill of the road or whatever, and then walk up, but you can only walk up to a certain point. You can't like go on the porch or anything, but
very cool. Yeah, because somebody owns it.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, and I know it's been an issue. I think once a year, and I don't know which day it is, but they have like a Goonies Day, and some of the actors actually come out on that day to kind of represent. I think they just celebrated like the 30th anniversary a year or two ago, and they had a lot of the old actors that came out to support the town and everything. So
very cool.
It was really cool. Yeah, it's
so that is the Goonies house, and again, once you get to Astoria, take the 101.
It's just off the main road, not far, maybe a block or two.
Get off on 37th Street, take a hard left on Duane Street, and then finally turn left on 38th Street, third house on your right. There you go.
And then they also have the movie museum down there. I forget exactly what it's called, but there's a movie museum.
Ooh. The movie museum. Do you remember kind of where it is?
I don't.
You gotta direct me here because I don't know the place here.
I know. Let me.
Is it called the Movie Museum?
I believe so. Let's see. Australian movie.
Bam. Where is it?
There you go, right there.
Oregon Film Museum.
Oregon Film. Okay, so it's not the story one. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Goonies-centric museum and old jail.
Yeah, so the jail scene in the movie was actually filmed at this location.
Oh. Look at that.
Oh, that's the baby faces.
Oh my gosh. Oh wow.
Hey, John.
So this is the people that were in the Goonies, different films they've been in, I guess. Or no, these are just different movies where they filmed in that area.
So it essentially highlights movies that were filmed in Oregon, essentially.
Wow.
And there's been a lot. A lot that most people aren't aware. You know, like I know Twilight was one of them. And actually, a funny story is the Twilight house was for sale, which was interesting. I was like, someone could buy the house. But yeah, it's not a huge museum, but it's definitely if you're going in town to get something to do.
Short Circuit.
Yeah.
I remember that one. That was a great one. That was there.
Five
No
Alive.
Kidding.
Five Alive.
Number Johnny Five. That is great. Oh,
yeah, so that's
gosh.
a good place too. Yeah, it's very interesting. A lot of information, a lot of movie history and movie memorabilia are there too. So,
well, you had mentioned earlier that there was a interesting thing here, and it's like when you zoom out, it's one of the big things here.
Yeah, the Astoria column. Mm-hmm. Yep, that's another place to hit to while you're there. I'm not sure how tall it is, but it's this ginormous column that you can actually climb. And let me tell you, if you're looking for a great workout, there's your workout right there. Stairs for days.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, I'm not sure how many stairs there are, but on the outside, on the outside, there's a really pretty mural that's painted or etched in, or I'm not really sure how they put it on there, but it's really pretty. And then once you get to the top, you can see for days all the things. So
you can have business meetings, you know.
Yeah, right.
Oh wow.
Yeah, it's a really cool area for sure.
So it's the stairs wind all the way up to the top on the inside.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, and you have to. And the stairs aren't very wide, and there's people going up and coming down, so you gotta share the way. If you're a slow stair climber, I probably would go on a very off day.
Look at this. The column itself is currently closed and not open to climb up at this time due to COVID-19 and per Oregon law. Wow. Yeah. Looks like that's not going to happen, but at least you get to see some, small little videos and whatnot of this. And
yeah, it's like I said, it's a pretty area. You can see the river, Washington.
Ooh. There's the 101. I saw the 101. You can throw planes from up top? That's cool.
I guess so.
It showed you being able to buy those and then throw them once you get up top. That's kind of cool. Biodegradable. I'm just saying.
We never did that. Yeah.
The 101, that's slick road, man.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Cool. The Astoria
yeah, so that's another
column.
Yeah, that's another thing. Another thing to check out for sure.
So we touched base here in Astoria, but Ro wanted to go over here and touch base in Warrenton, and Hammond. So
more so Hammond, because that's up north a little bit, and that has a couple really nice areas that I wanted to touch on. So we can go to the Peter Iredale, which I think was down along the coast, a little south.
On the left side or the right side?
Left side.
So here's the wreck. Oh, the wreck of Peter Iredale.
Yeah. So this is actually a really cool thing. It's the wreck of the Peter Iredale, and it was a ship that had gotten grounded on the beach, and they weren't able to move it, and the only thing that's left is the front part of it. Like, you can touch it, you can walk up to it, you can still see some parts sticking out of the sand all around. But that is an actual, I don't remember, let me Google it here and find out when it washed ashore.
Seems like a tetanus nightmare.
Yeah, right. Alright, here we go. Peter Iredale. It was a steel sailing vessel that ran ashore in 1906 on the Oregon coast en route to the Columbia River.
Interesting. They weren't paying attention to the navigation.
Yeah, well, and it's hard, like I said, it's hard because that whole area right there, so they have this thing called the Graveyard of the Pacific, and this kind of goes back to the, unevenness of the bottom of the sea or ocean or whatever, and where they meet. But there's a lot of ships that have ran aground there. This is the only one from the time period that's actually still visible, and it's deteriorated. Like, I remember going 20 years ago and then going again maybe 3 or 4, and it's definitely lost some of its structure just over time and weather and tear and everything. But yeah, there's a really cool picture if you Google Peter Iredale, and then it'll show you a picture of what the ship looked like before, like when it wrecked, which is really cool.
See what we can do. Peter Iredale. Boom.
Yeah, and then go to the Wikipedia.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Look at that.
Yeah, right? So that's what it looked like, and this is what's remaining of it from 1906.
Yeah, well, okay. To be fair, it's not like he had a motor that he can move quickly. So, I mean,
no,
when you're
definitely
going,
not.
Yeah, when you're going with sails, once you're down,
yeah,
there it is. There's where we get stuck. What are you supposed to do?
Yeah, see, there's like a donkey or a horse with the carriers. It's like, what are you gonna do with that? They ain't gonna help you.
Well, we're just gonna leave that thing right there.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Yeah,
that
but it's just an interesting story. Yeah, it's really cool. I mean, I know it's only like a chunk of a ship, but
it's pretty neat.
It's interesting. It's a good thing to go visit and be like, oh hey, looky here. It's great. Yeah, so that's another one. So it's not in Astoria, but it's just a jaunt over.
That
over
is
the bridge.
Fantastic. I love that.
Yeah. It's good. And it's on the beach, and
right there.
good beach day.
Yep. Oh, let's do this.
Two birds, one stone. Yep.
Satellite. There you go. Yep. Peter Iredale Road.
Iredale.
Hit the beach all the way down. Look at that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that gives it a better look of kind of what you're looking at here. The Astoria, and then this is mainly like the parkish area.
Yep. Yeah, and there's a campground in there, which we'll touch on next here.
Okay.
So you'll see. So that's the state park, the Fort Stevens State Park. So all the green is, like part of the park. And then you'll see Fort Stevens, which is just up there.
Here we go.
Right there.
Fort Stevens.
Yep. And this is the last kind of high-profile thing that we'll touch about here. But this is an old military base that was active up until 1947. Yeah. So the fort was an active military reservation from 1863 to 1947.
They should have built that stronger.
So this is a really cool place if you're ever in the area. The museum, the Fort Stevens Museum, will actually do underground tours. A good chunk of that's the big hole I was talking to you about.
Right here.
Yeah.
Right there. That guy.
Yeah, that one. Yep. That's where they would keep the guns, like the big cannons, and they would keep them in there, and then they would lower them in and then lift them up. I feel like the person told me that they reactivated it when Pearl Harbor happened because they weren't sure what was going to happen, with Japan and everything, and we're right there, obviously. But it's an amazing place. They've done a really good job. It's so much history in there, and the underground tours will actually take you in and underground and give you like a full perspective of what happened, and essentially it's nothing but cement, like legit nothing but cement. And
you can see that here.
And even underground they had very little electricity, so the lighting that when you do the underground tours, the lighting is like just so dim, because it's the 1940s. They don't really have high extensive electricity just yet.
What?
I know, right? But it's such, and you can walk around it, up and down it. They've done a really good job, and then they also have the So that's like the battery part, and then they have another section that you can tour that is where like the officers would live, like the barracks and like all of that stuff. That's on like the other side of the fort.
Looks like
They have,
Hobbiton.
yeah, right. And they'll actually take you on the old military trucks.
Oh, that's so
they
cool.
had from back in the day. Yeah, and then they'll do an outside tour of like where the houses were, like where the hospitals were, where the majority of the buildings are gone now just because it's been so long. But they have like, you can see some chimneys and you can see some areas where like there's like a cement kind of like a curb type of a thing that will outline like where the house was or where the building was or something like that. So it's definitely a huge historical place and really cool. And they had these small batteries all across the coast and in Washington just for, military purposes and whatnot. So, yeah, it's very interesting if you're looking for... I feel like the East Coast has a lot of historical things just because that's kind of where the nation began.
Yeah.
But then you get over here and you see things like this that, have a lot of historical...
The defense of our nation, 1940s.
Yeah, see, there's an old chimney of, where the barracks or a house would have been or something.
There, yeah.
So,
look at someone trying to be all clever with the sun behind it.
Yeah.
Good job. Here's the hole.
Yeah, there's the hole. Yeah, that's where they would keep the machine guns, the big old cannons and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's interesting. Yeah, like I love that area, and if you ever get an opportunity to visit, definitely it's worth it. Like I said, they only do the underground tours. I want to say like in the summertime, just for safety reasons. But
Sure.
It's definitely worth it if you get to do it.
I love it. So here's a good kind of model of what it used to look like.
Yeah, and it's a museum too, and there's like it's a small museum, but they have old soldier uniforms, and they have, I want to say, like a 10-15 minute running movie video about life on the fort and, what it looked like in the day and how people functioned and things like that.
Can I just comment how this guy taking this picture awkwardly
Put his finger on
sideways,
there.
not holding his finger right there is so irritating. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Oh, cool. Good.
Yeah.
Fort Stevens is a great place. Oh, it's going to go through every single thing I clicked. Dee. Flavell Museum. Beer Company.
Yeah.
Go back. Okay, here we go. Boop-a-doop-a-doop.
So there's an insight to my backyard and
There
what
you
I
go.
can hang out and do things in. Yeah, it's pretty awesome. I was excited that you picked this place because there's definitely a lot to see. Even if you go for a weekend. I mean, if you're traveling from East Coast to West Coast, you'd probably want to spend a little bit more time than a weekend there, but
Yeah.
at least you have some insights on where to go visit.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Well, this is great. This is very good. I love
Yeah.
how when you zoom all the way out, one of the big things you can see is the tavern.
Yeah,
Like,
it's important. We take our beers seriously here.
okay, so the trolley takes its place, and you zoom just further out. You zoom just in. It's the column in the tavern. Okay, I want to know what the big deal is about this tavern. Why do they get a great spot on Google? What the heck is the deal? And then we'll call it a day. Oh, you don't even have a website. I'm sorry. You're a nobody.
Yeah, I bet you the Dutch Bros even has a website.
Yeah, I know. That's what I'm saying. Well, I love it. Dairy Queen. This is great.
Yep.
Well, this is exciting. Well, Ro, thank you for taking us through that. I mean, it's cool.
Yeah, thanks for visiting my state.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. Okay, what
Great.
I do want to do. So where are you compared to this?
I am okay. So if you're gonna have to scroll in.
In?
Yep.
Boop.
Scroll in.
Boop,
Scroll in.
boop, boop.
So until you find Portland.
Which is right here.
Oh, okay. So then scroll in. I'm in Hillsboro, right there.
Hillsboro. Boop. Boop.
Yep.
Boop. 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 Boop.
Yep. So you can take the 26 to the 101 and then all the way through.
Very cool. So this is where Ro lives.
Yeah. I live there. Yep, in
Watch,
Hillsboro.
I'm gonna ping right there,
I'm actually more west.
like over here.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, there's where
Yeah.
Ro lives, everybody. Yay!
Yep. Yay. So it's not that far of a drive.
I'm
It'll be great.
way over here. Well, cool. Well, that was good. I think that was a good Knab and Ro on the go. It was good to have it was, to me, I feel like sometimes you go through, we're like, oh, what about this? What is this? Mm-hmm. It's cool to almost have a personalized tour from somebody who knows what the heck it is. And I think, and I'll talk to Ro more about this, obviously, but maybe getting a hold of somebody within that town before we do these and invite them to give us a quick personalized tour themselves.
Oh, yeah, I'm sure. There's a super nice lady that gave a tour of the Flavell House to us, or I think, and maybe she was like just the ticket person, but she kind of like, those people kind of wander around or whatever. So yeah, I'm sure someone from there would be more than happy to, that's what they do. And same with the Fort Stevens people, like they're just so knowledgeable on things like that. They're old, war history buffs that run these things, or, history people that are just enthralled with that native area and what happens and what's transpired and stuff. And so, they're very
ideas.
Yeah, they're very willing to give you the information and ask, answer any questions and guide you in the right direction. So I'm sure we could definitely do that.
And let us know in the comments what you guys think. I foresee an awesome Knab and Ro short going to, we did a Knab and Ro to go to Astoria and Hammond, and for our short, we're going to be interviewing somebody from Fort Stevens for 10 minutes.
Yeah, that'll be great.
Oh my God.
Maybe we can even do one of the tours on the old trucks. And they can drive us around. It'll be great.
Once I'm out there and we're hanging out, we'll do a live Knab and Ro to go. Oh, I love it. I love it. I love it. Well, there you go. There's Astoria, Hammond, and Warren. We didn't really talk about Warrenton, to be honest.
We didn't really talk about Warrenton, and we have to go through Warrenton to get to Hammond.
Yeah, but, say hey.
It's kind of, yeah.
So very cool. So that was our newest edition of Knab and Ro to go. If you guys like this video, go ahead and jack that like button right in your nose. Don't forget to tell your friends and family all about the Knab and Ro Show. And as always, this podcast is a wrap.
Till next time, kids.